Hello students, welcome to the new session. Today we are going to discussing about the oxides of sulfur. Oxides of sulfur. Sulfur have two major oxides, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. These two are the sulfur major oxides, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Now we will look at the sulfur dioxide. Its formula is SO2, sulfur dioxide. First one is preparation method. So how this sulfur dioxide is going to prepare? When sulfur is heated with oxygen, you will get sulfur dioxide. When sulfur is heated with oxygen, you will get the sulfur dioxide. Another preparation method. When sulfite salts are treated with acid, dilute acids, when sulfite salts are treated with dilute acids, you will get sulfurous acid. When sulfite salts are treated with acids, then you will get the sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide. Next, another preparation method. When zinc sulfide is heated with oxygen, zinc sulfide is burned with oxygen, means sulfide ores on roasting. Sulfide ores on roasting, SO2 is obtained. Take some sulfide ore, zinc sulfide. This sulfide ore on roasting means on burning with oxygen, you will get zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. Sulfide ores on roasting with oxygen, you will get zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. Next, iron pyrites means sulfide ores. Sulfide ores on burning with oxygen, you will get sulfur dioxide. So sulfide ores on burning with oxygen, we get this sulfur dioxide. Its physical properties. Sulfur dioxide dioxide is a gas. SO2 is a gas, easily liquefied. Highly soluble in water. When it is soluble in water, when it dissolves in water, it gives us acid. Now look at the chemical properties. Chemical properties. SO2 reactions with water and with sodium hydroxide is similar to CO2 with water and sodium hydroxide. Means the property, the reaction of CO2 with H2O, the reaction of CO2 with sodium hydroxide is the same as the reaction with SO2 and sodium hydroxide. For example, when CO2 dissolves in water, you will get carbonic acid, H2CO2, H2CO2. When SO2 dissolves in water, you will get the sulfurous acid. You will get the sulfurous acid. When SO2 dissolves in water, you will get the sulfurous acid. When CO2 dissolves in water, you will get the carbonic acid. When SO2 dissolves in water, you will get the sulfurous acid. Means SO2, that means CO2 and SO2 both are reacting with water in a similar way. The reaction of CO2 with water, the reaction of SO2 with water is similar. Next. The reaction of CO2 with sodium hydroxide and SO2 also is same. For example, when CO2 react with sodium hydroxide, you will get sodium carbonate Na2CO3. Along with that one, you will get the H2O. Similarly, when the sodium carbonate solution react with the CO2 and the sodium carbonate solution react with the CO2, you will get sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO. Sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO. Sulfur dioxide will also behave as CO2. Sulfur dioxide will also going to behave as CO2. So now this one is putting in brackets in a box because here we are discussing about the sulfur dioxide. Just I am showing these two reactions are similar. Here the two reactions. Now I am writing the sulfur dioxide reaction. This sulfur dioxide react with sodium hydroxide in a similar way as the CO2 reacting with sodium hydroxide. So this is sodium bisulfite. Sodium bicarbonate and sodium bisulfite. Both are same reactions. So CO2 and SO2 behave in a similar manner with water and with sodium hydroxide. Next one. Next reaction is SO2. We have both as oxidizing and reducing agent. SO2 behave both as oxidizing and reducing agent. So first we will discuss this oxidizing properties of SO2. Oxidizing properties of SO2. So how this sulfur dioxide going to behave as an oxidizing agent? When sulfur dioxide react with magnesium metal, you will get magnesium oxide and the sulfur. Look at the oxidation state of magnesium here, 0. Here the magnesium oxidation state is +2. Increasing in oxidation state is known as oxidation. This oxidation process is carried out in presence of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is a oxidizing agent. So sulfur dioxide oxidizes magnesium to magnesium oxide. Sulfur dioxide is an oxidizing agent. Look at the another reaction. Hydrogen sulfide. Into the hydrogen sulfide solution, when sulfur dioxide gas is passed, then you get sulfur. Look at the sulfur oxidation state in H2S. Here the sulfur oxidation state is -2. What is the sulfur oxidation state at the product side? 0. So here also oxidation state is increased. Increasing in oxidation state is known as oxidation. This oxidation process is carrying out in presence of sulfur dioxide, and sulfur dioxide is an oxidizing agent. Next, reducing properties of sulfur dioxide. The sulfur dioxide reduces potassium permanganate solution into manganese sulfate. So look at the oxidation state of manganese here. Here the manganese oxidation state is +7. Here the manganese oxidation state is +2. So what happens to the oxidation state? The oxidation state is decreasing. Decreasing in oxidation number is known as the reduction, and that reduction process is carrying out in presence of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is a reducing agent. Sulfur dioxide is a reducing agent. Look at here the sulfur. Next, potassium dichromate, acidified potassium dichromate, A2Cr2O7. Is reduced to chromium sulfate, Cr2SO4 thrice. Potassium sulfate, the potassium dichromate, acidified potassium dichromate is reduced to chromium sulfate. Look at the oxidation state of chromium here, +7. Here the chromium oxidation state is +3. Decreasing in oxidation state is known as reduction. Decreasing in oxidation state is known as the reduction. This reduction process is carrying out in presence of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide is a reducing agent. Sulfur dioxide is a reducing agent. Another properties of sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide reacts with chlorine and forms sulfuryl chloride, SO2Cl. When sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen, when sulfur dioxide undergoes oxidation in presence of oxygen, this one produces sulfur trioxide. This reaction is going to take place in presence of catalyst, and that one is either vanadium metal oxide or platinum. So all these are the reactions of sulfur dioxide. Again another one also is there. Ferric salts are converted to ferrous salts by this sulfur dioxide. Ferric salts are converted to ferrous salts by this sulfur dioxide. This one also is a reducing property of sulfur dioxide. So these are the reactions of sulfur dioxide. Next, look at the uses of sulfur dioxide. Before going to uses of sulfur dioxide, we will look at some reactions. Okay, we take that one as an example also. Sulfur dioxide is a wet bleaching agent. Sulfur dioxide is a wet bleaching agent. Its bleaching action is due to its bleaching action is due to reduction. When sulfur dioxide is passed through water, it forms H2SO4 and it liberates the nascent hydrogen. When sulfur dioxide is passed through water, it forms sulfuric acid and liberates nascent hydrogen. This nascent hydrogen decolorizes the vegetable colored matter. When nascent hydrogen passes through colored matter, when nascent hydrogen is passed through colored matter, it decolorizes the colored matter. You get the colorless matter. So sulfur dioxide behaves as a bleaching agent. Its bleaching action is due to the reduction. Ozone also is a bleaching agent. Its bleaching action is due to oxidation. It is a dry bleaching agent. For the bleaching action of ozone, you don't require water. But this bleaching action of this sulfur dioxide requires water. Hence, it is a wet bleaching agent. Ozone is dry bleaching agent. Similarly, you take chlorine. Chlorine also is a bleaching agent. Its bleaching action is due to oxidation, and it also requires some amount of water for carrying out the bleaching action. So all bleaching, most of the bleaching actions are due to oxidation process, but sulfur dioxide bleaching action is due to reduction process. Again, you have to remember this bleaching action of this sulfur dioxide is temporary, it is not permanent. Bleaching action of sulfur dioxide is temporary action, it is not the permanent reaction. So, again, if you do the oxidation process, you will get again the color. So, this bleaching action of sulfur dioxide, is used in the bleaching of wool, silk, straws, all those things. So bleaching action of sulfur dioxide is used in the bleaching of wool. Next one is this cotton, silk, next straws. Next another preparation, another uses of sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide also used in the manufacturing of sulfuric acid. SO2 is used in the manufacturing of sulfuric acid. So SO2 is used in the manufacturing of sulfuric acid. I have to look at another useful effect of sulfur dioxide. This SO2 is disinfectant. SO2 is disinfectant. Next, structure of SO2. Structure of SO2. So, what is the oxidation state of sulfur in SO2? This oxidation state is +4. The sulfur oxidation state is +4. Means you require 4 unpaired electrons. These 4 unpaired electrons of sulfur are seen in the first excited state. Sulfur oxidation state in SO2 is +4. Sulfur electronic configuration 3s2 3p4. This is the outmost electronic configuration of sulfur. In this state, you can see 2 unpaired electrons. In this state, you can see 2 unpaired electrons. First excited state. So here sulfur also contains 3d orbitals with no electrons. So what happens in this? Paired electron will going to jump in this 3d orbital. So its electronic configuration is neon, 3s2, 3p3, 3d1. So this one contains 3 unpaired electrons. So in this excited state, how many unpaired electrons are there? 4 unpaired electrons are there. These 4 unpaired electrons is going to make bonds with oxygen. How many oxygens are there in sulfur dioxide? 2 oxygen. This is an oxygen, this is another oxygen. So this is the first oxygen and this one is the second oxygen. So what these things will do? Oxygen valence is 2. Means 2 unpaired electrons are there on oxygen atom. One of the unpaired electron will make a bond with this unpaired electron. So you get a sigma bond. This oxygen unpaired electron make a bond with this sulfur unpaired electron. Again you get another sigma bond between this oxygen and sulfur. The another unpaired electron of this oxygen will make another bond with this sulfur unpaired electron. Then you get a pi bond. Which kind of pi bond this is? This electron is the oxygen p orbital. This electron is the sulfur p bond. So you are getting pi pp bonds. Now look at here. This is the oxygen p orbital and this is sulfur d orbital. Then you get the pi pp bond. So sulfur dioxide structure appears like this. Sulfur with a lone pair of electrons, 2 oxygens. This oxygen make a bond like this. This oxygen make another bond like this. This is a sigma bond of this oxygen with a p orbital, another sulfur p orbital. This is another sigma bond, a p orbital of oxygen, another p orbital of sulfur. This is the another pi bond. So what kind of pi bond this is? Pi pp bond. Pi pp bond. Next, what about this one? Another oxygen make another pi bond, and this one is pi. So this is the structure of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide contains 2 s double bond O's and 2 sigma pp bonds, and that pp is this one undergoing sp2 hybridization. So 2 sigma bonds, and it also forms 2 pi bonds. Among these 2 pi bonds, 1 pi pp bond is there, 1 pi dp bond is there. In sulfur dioxide, this sulfur is in sp2 hybridization. So these sigma bonds are sp2 p bonds. These sigma bonds are sp2 p bonds. 2 sigma sp2 p bonds. And the bond angle in sulfur dioxide is 119.5 degrees. 119.5 degrees. The bond angle in sulfur dioxide is 119.5 degrees. This actually in sp2 hybridization, what is the real bond angle? 120 degrees. But due to the presence of this lone pair of electrons, this bond angle is slightly decreased and become 119.5 degrees. Look at students, again I am drawn this sulfur dioxide structure. The bond angle in sulfur dioxide is 119.5 degrees. It contains 1 lone pair and 2 s double bonds and 2 sigma sp2p bonds and 2 pi bonds. Among them, one is 1 pi pp bond and another one is 1 pi dp bond. So this is the structure of sulfur dioxide. Now look at the sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide. Its formula is SO3. So how this SO3 is prepared? First, preparation method. When sulfur dioxide is oxidized with oxygen in presence of vanadium pentoxide, or in presence of platinum, then you get the sulfur dioxide. So when sulfur dioxide is oxidized with oxygen, you will get sulfur dioxide. The catalyst is vanadium pentoxide, or you can use the catalyst as platinum. When sulfur trioxide gas passes through water, you will get H2SO4. When sulfur trioxide gas passes through water, you will get the sulfuric acid. Structure of sulfur trioxide. What is the sulfur oxidation state in sulfur trioxide? It is +6. +6 means you need 6 unpaired electrons, which is possible in the second excited state of sulfur. Sulfur electronic configuration: neon 3s2 3p4. This 3s2 contains a pair of electrons. 3p4 also contains a pair of electrons, 2 unpaired electrons. Here only 2 unpaired electrons are there. Now I am going for second excited state. In second excited state, what happens? This paired electron jumps into 3d orbital. This paired electron also jumps into 3d orbital. So it becomes 3s1, 3p3, and this is 3d. So S orbital 1 unpaired electron. This p also contains 3 unpaired electrons. D also contains 2 unpaid electrons. Count total number of unpaid electrons. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when 6 unpaid electrons we get in the second iterative state. But hybridization in this sulfur trioxide is sp2. Hybridization in sulfur trioxide is sp2. Central atom is sulfur. Each oxygen forms one sigma bond, and these sigma bonds are sp2p bonds, so that we will get 3 sigma sp2p bonds in case of sulfur trioxide. Next bonds are pi bonds. These pi bonds, these are the pi bonds. These pi bonds are formed by oxygen atoms. So we have 3 oxygens, 1, 2, 3. 3 oxygen have 2 unpaid electron. Each one will form a sigma bond 1, 2, 3. These another unpaid electrons will form a pi bonds. This is pi pp bond. One is pi pp bond. This is pi pp bond. Oxygen p orbital and sulfur p orbital. This is oxygen p orbital, sulfur d orbital. This is oxygen p orbital, sulfur d orbital. So this is pi pp bonds. So how many you have the pi bonds? 3 pi bonds are there. One is pi pp bonds. Remaining 2 are pi pp bonds. And the bond angle is 120 degrees. Sulfur trioxide does not have any lone pairs. So when lone pairs are there, you can observe the regular bond angle. In sp2 hybridization, the regular bond angle is 120 degrees centigrade, or sorry, 120 degrees. So here in SO3 also we can see the 120 bond angle. So okay students, for this in this chapter we have only 2 topics left, and the next session we will try to complete those 2 topics. Okay, thank you.